A massive Chinese Coast Guard ship, nicknamed the Monster, has been spotted sailing alarmingly close to the Philippine coast. At 641 feet long and with a displacement of 12,000 tons, it's the largest of its kind, and a stark reminder of China's growing assertiveness in the region. But is this merely posturing, or are we on the brink of conflict in the South China Sea? Tensions remain high as continued incursions by Chinese vessels into Philippine territory threaten to escalate. Meanwhile, the construction of a Chinese barge fleet designed for amphibious assaults has raised concerns in Taiwan. These developments are drawing US allies in the region closer together, but Beijing's increasingly assertive behavior has alarmed many. The Philippines is particularly concerned about repeated incursions into its exclusive economic zone. These actions, Manila believes, aim to normalize a Chinese presence in its territory. This most recent incident involves Chinese Coast Guard Ship 5901, often called the Monster Ship. The vessel was spotted just tens of miles from the Philippine coast and has been part of a continued presence within the exclusive economic zone for almost 2 weeks. Official reports note Chinese vessels sailing 70 to 90 miles off the west coast since January the 4th. Jonathan Malaya, spokesman for the Philippines National Security Council, described the activities as an escalation, saying, "We were surprised about the increasing aggression being shown by the People's Republic of China in deploying the Monster Ship." China's embassy responded by asserting its claim to the territory, stating that its actions are in full accordance with the law. This standoff highlights Beijing's broader claims over nearly the entire South China Sea, delineated by the controversial 9-dash line. These claims put China at odds with the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. In response, these nations are strengthening their cooperation to counter Beijing's moves. One notable response has been a stronger assertion of territorial rights. The Philippines, for instance, deployed helicopters and Coast Guard vessels to monitor this recent Chinese incursion and assert its rights. According to Jay Tariella of the Philippine Coast Guard, the Chinese vessel has been challenged regarding its illegal presence, emphasizing that it lacks the legal authority to operate within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Beyond direct action, the situation has significantly impacted regional politics. Nations in the region are boosting their military capabilities. The Philippines, for example, plans to acquire the US Typhoon missile system, which can fire cruise missiles capable of reaching the Chinese coast. Philippine forces have already been training with this system. Even more significant has been the growing cooperation among US allies in the region. New treaties and joint military drills, such as those involving the Philippines, Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, and the US, demonstrate a united front. The joint military exercise between South Korea and Japan in particular highlights a growing willingness among regional powers to set aside painful historical differences and prioritize collective security in the face of shared threats. The South China Sea will remain a critical flashpoint in 2025. China's insistence on its claims, coupled with increasing regional cooperation, sets the stage for further confrontations. However, much depends on the approach of the incoming US president. US support is critical to countries like the Philippines, and the new administration's stance could significantly influence the region's future.